Hey guys, in this video we're going to go over the steps you need to take in order to pass your real estate license exam on the very first try. Now, as a real estate agent myself, I've taken the real estate trading services licensing exam through the UBC Sauder School of Business to be licensed in the province of British Columbia, and I passed it on my first try. And these are just some of the tips, tricks, and study habits that I found most useful for myself when I was preparing for my own exam. And if you're watching this video, I assume that you already started taking your real estate courses or you have just finished the exam. And if not, make sure to check out this video, which I'll post down below. It goes in detail how much it costs to get a real estate license in Canada, in the province of British Columbia, in about 90 days. It is for sure the fastest and cheapest way that you can go about doing it in order to pass the real estate exam, and also go in depth about all the costs that comes with it. I think a lot of people think you need to read every single word on your course or in the textbook, take notes, and just be the best student possible. While this certainly helps you out a lot, I mean, reading every word will for sure help you on the test, but I don't think it's absolutely necessary to do that. In fact, I don't think that it is the smartest way or the most efficient or fastest way to spend your time. There's a lot of information that you have to digest in the course textbook, and that's just extra, and you won't see on your actual exam. Plus, most of the stuff will not show up in your real estate career when you actually are working as an agent. So if you find yourself getting burned out from reading all of these really dry course materials from your real estate textbook, then I just want to kindly remind you to take it easy and just know that you can still skim through most of the stuff and do extremely well on your exam. And the last thing I want to see you do is to burn out during the course, or even worse, just never finishing it because of all the reading, and all of you guys get extremely overwhelmed. So guys, seriously, just finish the course, sort of skim through the material. I recommend taking an exam prep course as well, and the fun part begins when you actually start studying for the actual exam, because this is where what you study and how you study really makes a big difference. So with that being said, let's get into the most effective ways that you guys should be studying to prepare for an exam after you skim through the course material, after you've done all the assignments that are due before you can register for the exam. So the first thing you want to do is to read the summary of your whole real estate course. It should take maybe 5 to 10 hours of your time. So if you're doing an online course, for example, through RealSmart, which is the course I recommend, there will be chapter summaries and online modules for you to go over. And if you're doing any other type of online course, or if you do an in-person course, they should also have some type of summary for you to go over as well. And what you want to do is you want to read each of these summaries, take notes of all the key vocabulary. What we want to do with this part of setting is refresh your memory about the course. I know there's so much information, and that's why it's just important to go through these more concise summaries of each chapter module and try to remember all the important stuff. It will definitely help with the making information stick in your brain, and it will also help you in the next part of studying. In fact, the next phase of exam prep is going to be way more effective once you've read the summaries of all the content. By the way, if you guys are in Vancouver and you're looking for a brokerage, make sure to hit me up, because I can send you some of these summaries and maybe give you some pointers or guidance on what brokerages you should maybe consider, and the process I went through myself when I was selecting my own brokerage. I think it'll definitely help you guys out a lot. So the second phase of studying is to go through all the exam prep questions. And this is going to be extremely important during the few weeks leading up to your exam. They are very important because this is the time where you want to immerse yourself with every possible practice question that there is. This is basically what I did. I skimmed through my real estate courses. You know, I did dwell on, but I didn't focus 100% of my energy on them. But instead, I took that energy and I put it all towards studying. My number one tip is to sign up for the exam prep course, and this is basically some type of service that not only summarizes and condenses all the course material, but they have a set study schedule that helps you be prepared to take the NAC exam in just 2.5 months. And more importantly, they usually have hundreds of questions that emulate the actual questions on the exam. And I guarantee that if you memorize over hundreds and hundreds of these questions, their answers, and you understand the reasoning for each answer and why the other options are wrong, because keep in mind, these are all going to be multiple choice questions, you will definitely pass your test on the first try. And again, the one that I recommend you guys to try out if you're in the province of BC and you want to be licensed here is RealSmart, because you know, just for my past experience, it's the cheapest, it's the most efficient way possible to study, as I personally went through them as well. Again, it's definitely not the only option. I think there's also GoBC, and if you Google, there's a bunch of these great real estate exam prep courses that are equally as effective, if not better. But I do think that it's going to give you the greatest probability of passing on your first try. I find that they have very accurate questions, which are very similar to the actual questions that you're going to take for the real estate exam in province of BC, and yeah, they are quite confident that you will pass if you go through all of their exam prep questions and the practice exams, and you go through all the course material. They have custom exams that are based on topics that you're struggling with, and they might even have flashcards or key terms topic. Overall, just an extremely valuable tool. And the reason why you need to do practice questions is because the real estate exam, they have a certain way of asking questions, and they might find different ways to ask, but when you do these types of practice questions, you really get a good sense of how they format these questions. And I don't know if this is true or not, but I believe that there's only a certain number of questions and things that the real estate board can really test you on the real estate trading services exam, and they tend to recycle these questions and points over and over again. When you look at these simulation questions and their answers, or questions from the exam bank, you will basically see every way that they ask things, because to be honest, there's only a finite number of ways they can ask the same questions. And I guarantee that if you cover the same vocabulary, the same topics, and the same concepts will show up on your actual exam. And that's why it's so important to go through these main questions 1 or 2 times and make sure you absolutely know them. Reading the summaries in phase 1 setting will also help you understand why these answers are correct answers, which will lead to better retention. Now, leading up to your test day, you want to consistently do practice questions each and every single day. You need to review these questions, and you need to review the content. The last thing you want to do is cram 12 hours of studying into the day before you take the exam, and that's way worse than doing 3 separate 4-hour study sessions. And why it is because the more you cram, the worse your retention is. Now, in summary, there are 3 main things that I want to pass on to you. Now, in summary, there are 3 main things I went over in this video. First is, don't read every single word on your actual course textbook. Just wasting time. Second is, after you take the course, make sure you spend 5 to 10 hours reading these concise summaries of all the course content, or go through online modules that condenses it for you. And the third thing is sign up for the exam prep course, which will definitely have these concise summaries. They will have concise online modules of each chapter, and most importantly, they will have simulation exams and practice questions to go through and help you memorize the actual questions and the answers for at least a few hundred or maybe a couple thousands of these questions. And I guarantee you the test is going to be very easy. You're going to see a lot of these duplicate questions, and you will pass it on your first try. The biggest reason why people fail the test is because they simply did not take enough practice questions, and they also spaced out their prep too far from the moment you finish your actual course to the time you take your final exam. So don't forget to sign up for exam right away after you finish all the questions and assignments for the real estate trading services course. They have a cap of 2 assignments per week that you can actually do, so that'll take you about 4 to 8 weeks to really get through all the chapter assignments per se. So once you finish that, there's a little bit of a delay before you can actually give your exam, so about 1 to 2 weeks depending on how busy it is. So when you finish all the assignments, I recommend that you book your exam, so that way you have about 1 to 3 weeks to prepare for it in advance, but also to make sure that all the information is fresh in your head. And about 3 weeks time will give you plenty of time to work through all the practice questions, to really revisit and go through the course summaries as well. So after you sign up for an exam, you need to study consistently. Do about a couple hours per day of studying, and then 1 week before your actual exam, start doing 4 hours per day. Make sure you get a good night's sleep, eat some good food, stay hydrated. I mean, it's so hot today in Vancouver right now. I'm literally sweating. It's like 38 degrees, so I'm just sweating as I record this video, but I wanted to hammer this out for you guys. And make sure you go in confidently. It really isn't that bad. Trust me, it's not that bad. I passed on my first try. I'm not that bright too. Go in confidently, and as long as you study effectively and you study smart, like how I said in this video, you follow the tips, the tricks, and the guidelines, you will do awesome. I guarantee it. So I hope you guys found this video helpful, and I wish you the best of luck with your real estate exam. That's super exciting. huge congratulations for signing up for the real estate course. Definitely, I took that leap of faith myself when I was 23, and I never looked back since. So huge congratulations. Extremely excited for all of you to start building another source of income or starting a new career path. So like I said, if you're in Vancouver, make sure to hit me up, or if you have any further questions, drop them down in the comment section below. And most importantly, if you found value in this video, please be sure to like it, because it helps the YouTube algorithm, pushes the content out to more people like yourselves that could find value from videos like this. And don't forget to subscribe. I create a ton of content around real estate, finance, investing, entrepreneurship, Teslas. So don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when I drop my next video. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.